Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Michael Suruhas, or Mikey, as you all know me in game and on Steam. I'm the community manager and voice actor for Insurgency. This video shows some of the highlights of our live stream interview that we did on January 23rd, 2016 for the 2-year anniversary of Insurgency with Insurgency's co-founders, Jeremy Blum, CEO and game director, and Andrew Spearin, the creative director. There's a link to the full video in the description and on our YouTube channel, but this video just goes into some of the key details and a couple reveals regarding what we talked about during the stream about Insurgency and New World Interactive. Hope you enjoy.
So we are going to talk a little bit about the
Yeah, we are.
new projects.
We'll tell you as much as we can right now.
Right.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm going to preface this by saying that there's going to be an announcement in about a month from now that will contain a lot more information than what we're going to tell you guys tonight. But what we are doing that we can share with you guys tonight is that we have decided to work with Unreal 4.
Bam! Unreal 4.
On both of our new projects that we are doing. And also that we have been working on we've been working on it for a little while now, like about 8 months or so. We've already been working on stuff for these new projects. So there's
let me stop you right there, Jeremy. So there's not one, but 2 new projects?
Yep. Yeah, so we're using Unreal 4, two new projects, and we've already put a considerable amount of work already in. So there's already progress made, and there's already a lot of plans that have been made, and we can't share exactly what they are and all that quite yet, but there's going to be a lot of information to come in the future. So with this sort of expanded development, like I said before, like our team is 30 people now, and it's a lot bigger than it used to be. For us, that's big because we're an indie team, independent, like self-finance and all that. We decided about, I guess, probably about 6 months ago, that we are going to create a studio again, that we're gonna bring some of our team to an on-site location and develop from there, because we need more hands-on approach to development for certain aspects of these 2 projects that we're working on. So with that being said, I think it's important to share that, I mean, this isn't so much related to the projects themselves, but in a way it is, that we have actually formed a new studio, an on-site studio in Amsterdam, and there's actually about 5 or 6 of us here already, and we've been sort of at work now for about a month and a half or so. And we haven't formally announced this, but it's obviously made a big difference sort of in our whole production and in the future of the company.
Yeah, it is such a difference. Like, for the most part, like we've been working remotely, with those 30 people, or earlier on, it's been, up to like a dozen to 20 people all working remotely. But here and there we'd have a few trips. Like I'd come visit you, Jeremy, in like New York or in LA when you were there and stuff. But like once we've finally been able to assemble like a core group of people in that Amsterdam room, and like the conversations we have and the whiteboard, I'm so excited about a whiteboard.
The whiteboard, man.
It's a point of reference that we just don't have discussing or chatting on the internet. So being able to connect with ideas and to discuss everything and everything, like all that, has just been such a good process and such an improvement for us. So like I'm used to working in studios. Like I've worked not in game development, but I've worked at a newspaper, I've worked at at 2 digital agencies. So like it's such a breath of fresh air to be able to like look people in the eye when they're talking, and to be able to draw on the whiteboard and articulate and just solve problems so much quicker, and not have any misunderstandings, or because people's tone can change in chat. Like you have no idea what they're really trying to say until you're standing there next to them. So it's really awesome. It's just such a huge step forward for us, and it's going to make the current game and the future projects even that much better.
What are Insurgency's plans for competitive support? What state is it in right now, and what can we see in the future regarding that?
Yeah, so essentially, we're going to be coming out with an update to the game soon, which is going to allow Dave Infamy to be played on the live branch, not the beta branch. So once we get that out there, what we're going to do is launch our competitive probably a few days after. Probably won't be at the exact same time. It'll be a short window transition, but we're going to launch our competitive features in the beta branch first. So it's going to be limited. Obviously, I've said that. But essentially what's going to happen is there's going to be a new section to the main menu. So along the top, you'll know there's solo, there's cooperative, there's multiplayer, and we're going to launch a compete section. So, and so how things are going to change also in the cooperative and multiplayer menu. So all this is part of like an extensive user interface design, which is kind of like renovating a building while people are still going through it. it's really hard to change things entirely,
which
when
because you worked in construction.
Yeah, and worked on like digital products that are live, and you want to update them, and it breaks things and all that stuff. So anyway, we're going to launch in beta first of all, so we don't necessarily disrupt everybody with like menu changes and everything. So yeah, so the compete menu, essentially what I have in mind is, so like I've said before, people like to think about the end goal and not all the steps that get there. So the end goal, though, I'll talk about it, is we want to have our own leagues according to experience, right? So you'll have like different tiers, like a gold league, silver league, bronze league type thing, where that will be focused upon unit matchmaking. So you'll have to form your unit, like a clan essentially, which you'll be able to do in-game right there in the user interface. You form that unit and then compete like throughout the week or whatever. So there'll be like a ladder of all the unit rankings in that league, and hopefully at the end of the week or the cycle, like we don't know yet, we're gonna test. We're gonna determine these things at the time when we're testing length and all these semantics stuff. But then there'll be like a tournament, and then so you play through the bracket. You know, you'll be seeded based on your weekly performance. Play through the bracket, and at the end, who like the top teams will advance in league. So, but once you hit the top, and I mean like long term, hopefully there'll be prize money involved, sponsorship, that kind of stuff. But in the near term, what we're gonna do is first we're gonna launch kind of just like a solo queue matchmaking. So the unit versus unit league stuff won't be there first iteration. We're going to get there eventually. But first what we want to launch is ensure that there is a leaderboard to play for and the compete section, and have kind of like an open league that anyone can join, anyone can compete. And really what that is for is mostly just like your individual rankings. But I mean, competitive to me is a team-based thing. So the goal is to have the team-based ladders and leaderboards be the prominent component of the competitive system.
Right.
But for now, to introduce it, to make sure our matchmaking system is working, to make sure that all the server infrastructure is going, we're going to go through this beta phase and do it kind of like on the individual basis. So you'll be able to like create your party or whatever, your team, and queue up and be matched with another team, get put into a server, you play through it, and your results are then show up later on. So, and people are probably wondering also about like gameplay and stuff in terms of competitive gameplay. So like we're going to determine all that through the testing, through the beta phase. And like right now it's firefight, which is great. And I mean, I've been watching the ESL stuff and streaming. I watched this one final. It was thrilling to watch. And that was, I think they modified the loadouts from what we currently do, but I mean we'll take that feedback into account, and we'll re-look at the choices we made and stuff. But also people have been playing it and are enjoying what we have as a competitive playlist, so it's not going to be that different. But I mean, one thing I can kind of think of is like we left out suppressors because they were just way too overpowered. Like they didn't emit any muzzle smoke or anything. So when we put that together, but now they do, and now I'd be more inclined to put it back in because that's a little more fair. So you can actually see them prone in the corner because they're emitting smoke instead of not seeing anything at all.
The beta testing of this comp system in its first iteration, you know, because as you said, it's going to be an iterative process, that could be happening as soon as a few weeks.
Yep. Yeah, so it's I liked your analogy, or I thought of an analogy based on your like foundation thing. It's like you can't build the roof until you've built the rest of the house.
You
kinda
can't
thing.
build the roof till you build the rest of the house, just like Dad
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, exactly. So and so a lot of people, they see the whole house in their minds, and they see what the roof looks like, and they try and give us direction for the roof, but we got to build everything before we get there. So anyway, yeah. Next.
But yes, beta is coming in a few weeks.